Okay, this is Haley Bankston, and she's a freshman attending Iowa. Haley, what type of social media do you use?
I've got a Twitter, an Instagram, Snapchat, and occasionally Facebook.
And why do you use social media?
I use social media to contact with my friends via Snapchat, look at other people's pictures on Instagram, and find different people that are not that good friends with on Facebook.
How frequently do you use/check your social medias?
More than 5 times a day.
Okay. Any account more than others?
Mainly Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat.
Okay. Are your accounts private? Why or why not?
All of my accounts are private just for the sole reason that anyone can see it. Not that I have anything bad that I'm posting, but just because in the future, employers could be looking at it and people like that.
What are the pros and cons of social media today?
Some of the pros I would say is that it's a good way to get connected with different people, like keep in touch long distance relationships. The cons is that if you post something, someone could interpret it in a different way that's not necessarily how you would want it to say it. So that would definitely be one of the biggest cons, I think.
Do you think the pros outweigh the cons or vice versa?
I definitely think that the pros outweigh the cons just because you can filter what you're saying and try and get your point across in the way that you would like it. So yeah.
Do your parents have social media?
Yep, my mom has got a Twitter and Facebook. She doesn't have a Snapchat or Instagram. My dad just has a Facebook, so.
Another University of Iowa student, and this is an interview about social media. So what types of social media do you use?
I mainly use Twitter and Facebook.
And how often do you go on these sites?
Twitter I'll check about once every 2 days, Facebook about once a week.
What do you think the pros and cons are of social media?
I think both of those are really great for staying in touch with people that I don't see anymore, especially friends from high school, distant family, but then the cons are definitely like, it just opens up so much room for humiliating people and just flaming other people, stuff like that.
So would you say your parents feel the same way as you, or do you think they have different viewpoints? How do they feel about social media?
I'd say definitely my parents are reserved about it, and my parents don't have as many people on there that would say something hurtful or offend other people, but definitely I feel like they have the same viewpoint as me, just without as much experience.
All right, thanks, Mo. This is Taylor, another student from Iowa. And Taylor, what social media sites do you use?
Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
And what is social media to you?
Social media to me is a way to connect to other people's lives.
And how do you feel about these sites being public by default?
I think it's unfair because not everybody knows that it's public at first, and it should automatically be considered private instead of public.
What's your name?
My name is Tyler Wessels.
Alright, what is social media to you?
Like Facebook and Twitter.
What does that mean, though?
It's a way to connect with your friends and family in ways that we haven't been able to do before.
Alright, which specific social media sites do you use?
I only use Facebook.
Alright. Why do you personally use social media?
Personally, I only use it to, like, usually message friends and stuff. I don't like to post that much. Also, to see pictures of other people. Stuff like that's good.
Alright. How often do you get on social media?
A decent amount, I guess, like, maybe a couple times every hour.
A couple times an hour?
Or maybe not that much, like once an hour.
Alright.
Average.
Do you have your account set on private or no? And why? Or do you not know?
Maybe.
Yeah, you don't know?
I have no idea.
Alright. So what do you think the pros and cons of social media are?
The pros, like, you can connect with anybody from anywhere. You can just keep in touch with, like, old friends, stuff like that, and even your current friends, I guess. You can see everything. But that's also the con, is, like, you can see everything. You have to be careful about, like, what you post, stuff like that. And also, like it can be addicting and stuff, and some people just like overuse it.
Do you think the pros outweigh the cons?
I think the pros can outweigh the cons. I think a lot of people don't use it for the pros though.
Fair enough. How do your parents react to social media, whether it be them on it or you using it?
Well, they just, I mean, they don't care if I use it. I guess they trust me, I guess. But, and they don't use it that much, so they don't know that much, but I don't think they care for it that much, if that makes sense.
Alright, so they aren't, like, I guess, threatened by it. They just think it's another thing that they don't need to, like,
Yeah,
meddle
they
in.
just don't want to care about it, yeah.
Alright, sounds good. Thank you.
Alright.
Okay, what types of social media do you use?
I have a Facebook account. I also have a Twitter account. I have an Instagram account, but I don't use it very often.
Okay, and how frequently would you say you use these social medias?
I check Facebook multiple times throughout the day. I check Twitter about once a day, and I check Instagram maybe once every 2 weeks.
Okay, and are your accounts private? Why or why not?
I use the different accounts in different ways. My Facebook account is private. Only my friends can see that information. I am more of a lurker on Twitter, so I don't post things, I don't like things, I follow people, and then I just kind of soak up that information. So I'm more of a passive participant on Twitter, and I use it a lot just to find out what's going on in terms of news, or I follow like the Hawkeyes or my kid's school, so I just kind of keep up to date that way.
Gotcha. And what do you think about the accounts being automatically public by default?
I think that can be a problem, particularly for young users who may not know how important their privacy is, and so before you know it, if public is the automatic default, then you might be doing things on there that you just don't know and could have some repercussions that you didn't know. So if we have to have a default, I would say private should be the default. in my opinion.
Do you think that the pros of social media outweigh the cons, or vice versa?
Well, I think it's a pretty interesting way to stay in touch with people, to stay connected with what's happening in the world. I do believe that it's taken up a lot of my time, and I don't even consider myself as much of a user as other people, but I still use it probably more than I need to, and there certainly is some addictive quality to it that I want to always see what's going on, what did I miss, and in reality I know I didn't miss anything that couldn't have waited, but there's got to be something in the psychology of the instant gratification so I think it's I like it, but I think it's kind of a problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you.